is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about the prediction of how the seeding games will go. And what I mean by that, all the teams will play seeding games that will decide their seeding. And I'm going to do the Western Conference today to predict who's going to be where and who's going to move. And it should be a fun video. So we're going to talk about the number 1 seed through 8. And we're going to talk about the teams that I believe that's going to make it and where they're going to stay at. Currently, let me get this out the way. The Lakers are number 1. The Clippers are number 2. The Denver Nuggets are 3rd. The Utah Jazz are 4th. The Thunder are 5th. The Rockets are 6th. Dallas and Memphis are 7 and 8. And then, of course, you have the play-in games where Portland, New Orleans, Sacramento, San Antonio, and Phoenix all get an opportunity to take over the 7th. Well, they get a chance to take over the AFC Memphis Grizzlies. And let's start with the Grizzlies. As you know, I made a video not too long ago saying that I do believe that the Memphis Grizzlies will hold on to that 8th spot. I don't think that's going to change. They have a tough schedule going into the seeding games. It's not going to be easy for them. The Pelican schedule isn't that bad, but they still have to beat the Grizzlies twice, and the Grizzlies only have to beat them once to lock up that 8th spot. And I do think the Grizzlies are a team that can play real well. They're getting a lot of guys back, and they play significantly better than the Pelicans all year. And the Pelicans aren't the greatest defensive team. They aren't, the greatest team in general. They got Brandon Ingram and a lot of good pieces, but they haven't really shown that they can play great together just yet. Maybe in the future. Phoenix is way too far behind for me to even consider them having a shot to even get within to challenge Memphis. When you look at San Antonio, they don't have LaMarcus Aldridge, which is really going to hurt their offense and their defense and their rebounding unless somebody step up and just replaces a lot of what he does, which I don't really see happening. And then you obviously have the Kings, who have been playing great basketball right now, but at the same time, I really don't see them literally beating the Grizzlies twice to get that spot. And on top of that, they will have to go on a little mini win streak to even close in to be able to challenge for that AFC. And then you got Portland. Portland's schedule isn't easy either. Plus, we got to see what they're going to do with their team and if their team is really going to be able to compete. We know how good Dame is. He was an MVP candidate this year for a little bit, and we know he can take over games. We know he can close games, but it's a lot of pressure on them already as they have disappointed this season, even though they was just destroyed by injuries. But I still do believe that the Grizzlies can beat this team. And I do still feel like the Grizzlies have shown that they can compete and play against anybody. And in that case, I think that they can hold on to that 8th seed. When you look at the rest of the seeds, we're gonna talk about the 7th place Dallas Mavericks, who are fighting to move up. They're 7th. They play the Clippers. They're trying to move up so that way they don't have to play the Clippers or the Lakers. I don't see Memphis catching them, honestly and truthfully, as long as they're healthy. And I also don't see them moving up to take over the Rockets spot because I think the Rockets are still one of the better teams in the West. And I do feel like they can win enough games to where they can either move up or just stay locked into that 6th seed, which isn't that bad because they're just as good as the Denver Nuggets, if not better, depending on how you look at it and what type of style you see. But with them having a guy like Harden and them having the Russell Westbrook that they had the last couple months, I can definitely see them moving up. And I can definitely see them having a good chance against Denver or Utah. But I do have the Rockets moving up to 5th. Well, I got the Rockets moving up to fourth, and I see OKC and Utah dropping down a little bit. I got OKC finishing fifth and Utah finishing sixth, just because Utah has struggled all year to find the identity on offense and on defense. And on top of that, they don't have one of their best perimeter scorers in Bogdanovich. Plus, on top of that, Donovan Mitchell has become an all-star, but he has not made that superstar leap. Rudy Gobert doesn't look the same as his defense has declined every single month, and it seems like he just don't want to be there. And it seems like this team has basically nailed it in, even though it is impressive that they can still be the fourth seed through all these problems. And that's just the amazing part about it, that they got that high, and they technically would have had home court advantage because they are the fourth seed. But I don't see them winning enough games to lock up the fourth seed. And I do think the Rockets and the Thunder have a chance to just stay steady. And if the Jazz lose a couple games and the Rockets or the Thunder get on a little win streak, which I can see happening, I can definitely see the Rockets moving up from sixth to fourth, and I can see the Thunder staying at fifth. And with Utah struggling offensively and defensively, I can see them dropping from fourth to sixth, which means they will have to play Denver, which isn't the worst thing. I do see the Denver Nuggets locking in at three, just because when the season was ending, they wasn't playing their best basketball, which was unfortunate just because they had such a successful season, and Jokic started playing some of his best basketball, but they still do have that ability to fail. They always find ways to trick games. They always find themselves in close games, and sometimes Jokic can bail them out, and sometimes he just don't have that other guy that can step up consistently and help him offensively, and they just not great enough defensively. I feel like they are a fun team to watch. I feel like they're going to be an interesting team for years to come, but they do have to find consistency. They have to stop playing around. They have to start being more serious, more intense, and really try to focus on winning. I feel like sometimes it falls through. You went from being the number two seed, they was just great all year, and then they just get in a funk, and they just can't lock in for a 48-minute. They just can't lock in for an 82-game season, and it's sad to see it because they're almost there. It's like this is a team that we should be fearing. This is a team that we should be like, this Denver, you don't want to play them, and that's just not the case. If I wanted to be the Rockets, the Jazz, or the Thunder, I don't mind playing Denver, even if they're the third seed. And we seen that last year against San Antonio when they went 7 games with San Antonio. And a lot of people thought that San Antonio was going to lose quicker than that. I said that series was going to go 7. And it did. And it's because the Nuggets are a team that anybody in the West, because the West is pretty good, can compete and beat. And that shouldn't be the case when you've been one of the best teams in the entire NBA record wise every season for the last 2 years. Last year they finished second. This year they still have an opportunity to finish second, and they were second basically the entire year. But nobody was talking about the Denver Nuggets as being a legitimate championship contender. And when you're posting those type of wins and you're being that good record wise, you should be putting fear in your opponents, and you should be having that respect level that nobody want to play you because you're so good, and that's just not the case, which is unfortunate. But Denver still have to find out how they're going to defend, who's going to be their reliable scorer after Jokic, and what can they do outside of Jokic. Jokic has become so important. They branched off from that a little bit this year, but they still fell into the same hole before the season ended, which is inconsistency on both ends of the court and execution. Now, I do have the Clippers locking up number two. I do not see a situation where they can move up to number one, unfortunately, because the Lakers are just that good with LeBron and AD. Plus, they are still good guard spot wise. Yeah, they lost Avery Bradley. They still got Danny Green. They still got Pope. They ended up signing J.R. Smith, so they should be fine. Dwight Howard is going to be coming, and Anthony Davis and LeBron is on a mission. They've been number one basically all year in the Western Conference. I do not see that changing. And on top of that, I do see the Clippers locking up number two just because they started playing their best brand of basketball and they started getting healthier. Plus, I don't believe Kawhi Leonard or Paul George is going to sit out games during the seeding games. Yeah, they did it during the regular season. I don't see them sitting out any of these 8 games, which means they're going to probably be one of the toughest teams to beat in the seeding game, just because they already basically dominated throughout the last couple months. And Kawhi Leonard is playing his best basketball defensively and offensively. Paul George should be fully healthy because he had multiple months off to get fully healthy, and the rest of their roster is basically untouched and intact. They're one of the deepest teams, one of the smartest teams, and they do have a closer in Kawhi Leonard. And this is usually the time where Kawhi Leonard locks in and play his best basketball, like I just said. And if that's the case, I don't see too many teams beating them, and I don't really see them winning enough games to dethrone the Lakers. And even if they do, I don't see the Lakers losing enough games to where they will lose the number one seed anyway. And that's why I have Clippers finishing second and the Lakers finishing number one, just because they have a sizable gap on the Clippers. And honestly, I don't see them losing enough games to where they will lose the spot anyway. But other than that, let me know who you guys think are your top AC in your order. I do read every comment, and I think this is a fun video. I will be coming with the Eastern Conference tomorrow, and that should be another fun video for Thursday. So if you're new to the channel, check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. On Facebook, that will be in the description in the comment section below. Like on Facebook. Also, like this video and share. Liking and sharing helps this channel grow and reach more people, and that's the least you guys can do if you enjoy the channel anyway. But if you are new to the channel, check out my older videos. I do breakdowns of players, rookies, and legends. Not only that, I do summer league breakdowns. I cover summer league, I cover free agency, trade deadline, I do season previews, I do playoff predictions, and I try to make videos basically every single day. So if you love basketball, you can't get enough of it, you need that daily fix, I will try to help you with that addiction, as I have the same thing. The only difference is I enjoy and love making videos, and you guys enjoy and love watching them, and that's why I continue to go each and every day for you guys. So at the end of the day, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, I'm gone. Tell me what you agree with, tell me what you disagree with, or just tell me your list in general. Have fun with it. I'm gone. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. See y'all tomorrow.